Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about Voyager's ability. We all think we know what it does, right? It's now got multiple uses. So as we know, Voyager has got two abilities. First ability is to find opponent's station. So you can use this to be able to find the opponent's station. So if somebody's taking your OC all the time and you want to go get them back, you can do that. But the one we're going to be talking about specifically today is this one, the advanced sensors. Reveal up to one hostiles hiding from your sensors currently occupied in the system. There are three. There are three different reasons why you would want to use the Voyager ability, and we'll talk about what all three of them are today. Now, the first of the three abilities we know about. This was announced when the game was first launched, and this is all about fueling a section of your refinery. So in your Voyager refinery, this box here, species 8472, this pays out in commerce insignia. It pays out your Delta Quadrant warp cells, which you use to go and mine. We'll come back to these cells later on, and it pays out good amounts of Voyager parts. These are scaled dependent on the tier of your Voyager. So you can see here, this is my tier 7 refinery, and as you go up in tier, the costs also increase. So your 8472 loot, which is gained from any of the standard systems up in the Delta Quadrant, starting at Valixis, everything to the right hand side of this, or the east side of this if you want to go specifically for a map, every single one of these systems, if you use Voyager's ability, so this one up here, then it will spawn an 8472 hostile, which with the power of editing we will show you right now. So I am going into Lyosaurus. Lyosaurus. Anybody who knows me, I'm absolutely awful at names, but I'm heading to this system. This is the furthest that I can reach. I could potentially use Grush and get out a bit higher, maybe. Nope, they are warp 700. They are massive. It's a really big jump from this one to that one. We can see it goes from 535 up to warp 700. So I would need a much higher Voyager to be able to get there. Now, if you're not aware, the hostiles for the 8472s are bracketed. So you will have to go through the systems and find where the bracket stops. Very similar to the trader hostiles that are in the system. Let's see if there's one in here now. There is. So these, which like see here, we've got 50s in a level 53 system, where mainly everything is 53, but those 50s, they also spawn in Torolis, they call in Batu, Shikaya, I told you I'm terrible at names, Kuna and Peric, and even Ebenois. They all sourced level 50 hostiles. Before that, they then sourced the level 40 traders. So they are bracketed, but this is the first hostile that we can spawn, so we are going to use this ability. And we can see here my cost, which I'm going to show you in 1 second in relation to the crew. But the hostile that we summon is an 8472 hostile. It spawns, as you can see, it races towards your Voyager and it comes and attacks you. You can move around the system. It will chase you until it finds you and gets you. But then when you kill it, this drops the 8472 loot, which is then used in the refinery, as I showed you before, which obviously then you use the biotoxins to pull your chests. Talk about the crew that I use. This is the crew that I've found to be absolutely the best thing for killing these 8472 hostiles. This will depend on your ship, your tier of Voyager, tier of your officers. Obviously, you may need to play around and you may find a better combination that works for you, but this is the one that works for me, and I'm currently using 5 of 11. I'm using her for both her mitigation ability and her increased loot. I'm using Kang because the hostiles that I'm hitting are all interceptors, so this increases the piercing, so it increases the accuracy, which is the direct counter to the dodge that is on all interceptors. That is their main ability, so that's why Kang has a benefit. And I'm also using Neelix. What Neelix does, Neelix actually increases the cost efficiency of using your Voyager ability. So normally this would cost 500, and as you saw there on my Voyager, the cost for mine is only 357, saving me some of this really important deuterium canisters that I can then use to be able to work on these 3 reasons that you could use the summoning ability of Voyager. So that's the crew that I use. This is the first one, part of the main loop. Now we're going to move on to 2 other variations of how you can use that summon ability. So that summon ability can be used in 2 other different types of systems. The first one are the FSEP systems, and the second one are the systems that are also gated with a cell token, but that don't have FSEP. FSEP meaning fluidic space entry point. So let's talk about the ones that don't have FSEP in there first, because these have been a little bit more used. So you have 3. You have up here, you have Shalika, you have Misaloop, you have, if you move a little bit further down, you have Neaera. So they are three systems whereby we didn't really think there was a great deal going on in there. But let's go find out what's going on in there. So these use these Delta Quadrant Borg coordinates. Now these are dropped from chests of the 8472s. So you have to be summoning the 8472s to be able to get the chests in order for you to then get the Delta Quadrant Borg coordinates to be able to access these systems. Now on first look, the system looks pretty boring. But what happens when we use Voyager's ability? Let's head on over and let's find out. It costs 100 to get there, by the way. Just to show you while we're on the way, this is the chest that I got from that hostile that I killed at 8472. Got 25 Delta Quadrant Borg coordinates and a few interceptor parts as well. Obviously, these are from a couple of armadas that I was running earlier. But just to show that that is where they do drop from. They drop from the 8472 hostiles. And here we are, as if by magic, we are now in the systems. So we are in the token gated systems that don't start with FSEP. Now these look pretty boring. All these drop is a few parts, few ship parts, and that is it. That is all that these hostiles drop. But if we summon here, let's see what we get. Oh, something's approaching us. Oh, there it is. A Delta Quadrant assimilated data cube. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you my faction messages. So faction messages, let's have a look. So 18,000, 18,000 and 5,000. That's what we had before we hit this cube. 18,000, 18,000 and 5,000. So we didn't get a chest. If we look in the inventory, we got absolutely nothing. However, if you go directly into your inventory, 18,000, 23,000 and nearly 6,000. So we got a huge boat ton, 5,000 Federation messages and about 1,000 Romulan messages from that one Borg cube. So a really good way for you to use your deuterium canisters, providing you have enough to keep up with your pulls if that's something that's still important to you with your Voyager progression. Now, the third reason, let's go to the FSEP system. This is the third use for Voyager. So we're going to go to FSEP 3819. We are going to use one of these Delta Quadrant warp cells. Now, what you will notice here is that all of these loops are sort of entwined because you need to kill the 8472 hostiles to get the Delta Quadrant coordinates to get into the system that I've just been in, but also to pull the chests to be able to get the actual Delta Quadrant warp cells to get into the mining systems. So we will head to that system now, and with the power of editing, here we are. So we are now entering the FSEP system. Now, what you will find in this system is, again, these Delta Quadrant bioships, and these drop the same loot plus the exotic biotoxins that you can get from mining these nodes. Oh, there's a rare node there. Sorry, squirrel. We like squirrels, hence why we've got one up here. It's part of our logo. Fantastic design, by the way. Big shout out to our face for designing the logo. I absolutely adore it. So what we can do in here is we can use Voyager's ability, and we can summon it. And what you find is this can take a few goes. And then what you need to do to refresh the system is move your ship. Move your ship and try again. And here we are. There it is. I need to move away so it doesn't attack me. So what we have spawned in this system is a DQ, Delta Quadrant again, Silver Blood USS Voyager. So we're being chased by the USS Voyager. And this particular hostile, if we click on it, it doesn't have much in the way of loot. Let's send it a bit further away, so we've actually got time to click it. In terms of loot, when we check it, it drops a few biotoxins, a few of the Herosian relics, but that's not what we're after with this. What you do with these is when you actually kill it, and there's only point in killing this once. I must stress that. I've already done this, but there is only a point in killing this once. So let's take a look at that hostile in the battle log. So this USS Silver Blood USS Voyager, it was 155 million. You can see I took it down nice and handily with my standard 8472 hostile crew with 5 of 11 Kang and Neelix. Again, you may find this more difficult if your Voyager is not as high as band. You have different officers. You may find a better combination works for you. This does have an ability. It has isolated defense is reduced by 12% when combated against an explorer. So us using Voyager is giving us a natural advantage when killing this Silver Blood USS Voyager. So we can see in here it did only drop the standard things, so it dropped some erosion relics, it dropped some exotic biotoxins. This is not the most effective way to farm these. It's far less than what we would get from killing the normal 8472, so this is not something that you should do regularly. And for clarity, when I was summoning it, it did take about 10 attempts for me to be able to summon that Voyager. So if it doesn't work in the first few, just move your ship a little bit, try again, move your ship a bit, try again. It will eventually pop. It took me about 30 seconds, 40 seconds just to keep spamming the button. And obviously, if you don't summon a hostile, you get your deuterium back. So you get a refund for that. So it's not costing you anything to keep on trying with that. So let's take a look at what we actually get from this. So a big shout out here to Chosen from server 135. Thank you for sending me some screenshots that we could be able to pull up here. When I did this, I forgot to take them. So thank you so much, Chosen, for saving me and allowing me to make this video using your screenshots. So once you have killed that Voyager, wait about 5 minutes. It doesn't spawn instantly. I did find it did take about 5 minutes for this to show for me. But if you go into your refinery, again, go into the Voyager tab, you will then be presented with this. You have a silver blood exchange, again, only for the first silver blood that you kill. After that, you can see it was at least 5 minutes ago since I killed that last one. You do not get this chest over and over again. So again, there is only value in attacking this hostile once. Your deuterium is much better spent carrying with the 8472s or killing the Borg cubes in order for you to get your faction messages. But with inside this chest, let's see what it offers. So it offers this. So you get a Silver Blood Voyager epic avatar. Now this might not sound very interesting, but it is actually a moving avatar. It is actually a mobile one, which I'm going to show you in a second. 5 additional travel tokens and 500 deuterium canisters. So technically you get a refund on the one that it actually cost you to do the hostile itself. So I think that's really interesting. I think it's really nice that Scopely have been adding these things into the game. Let's take a quick look at what the avatar actually looks like in game. I've paired it with the Valentine's frame of all things, but you can see here that it is moving. It is an animated frame. I think it's a really nice looking frame, but I think it's great that Scopely have decided to start adding these little Easter eggs into the game for us to find. Obviously, for people that don't want to find it, obviously they can watch this video and figure out how to combat this. Now, one other thing that I do want to preface, I want to shout out BK, My Alliance, Bearded Kirk, and I will show you that depending on the system that you hit in for the Voyager, it will be much more difficult. So if I show you the one that was in the much higher system, you can see here that it was massively strength. So if we look at this, it has 4.8 billion hull health. Now, if we compare that to the one that I just killed, which was in the much lower system, pull that up, 4.8 billion goes down to 155 million. So 155 million compared to 4.8 billion, and that was because it was level 60. The rewards do not change, so the rewards are identical. So just kill the one that you are able to kill. So perhaps going for the lowest system, maybe your strategy for you to be able to kill the silver blood. I mean, look at those health and shields there, over 1 billion hull health on there, absolutely ginormous. So bear that in mind when you are deciding which silver blood Voyager you decide that you want to kill. And that's the video today. I hope everybody's found that useful. I hope you can see that there are it's not a one-trick pony, it's not a two-trick pony. Technically, it's a three-trick pony. Plus, obviously, it mines. It's got far more uses than we thought when Voyager first launched. And dropping these Easter eggs in, I hope this is a sign of things to come, that they're going to pop things in there for us to be able to find that's going to be player beneficial that wasn't evident at launch. I think it's a fantastic thing, and I think Voyager is just getting more and more use every single day for me. I'm really enjoying the Voyager loop. And just again, to clarify, I've not spent a penny on Voyager since it came out, and it's been out for a couple of months now, and I've got mine tier 7 approaching tier 8. I will not be taking mine above tier 7, and I will put this at the end of the video just for anybody who is still here and is still listening, because when it gets to tier 8, your commerce insignia stop paying G4. So I was dropping this in here that I don't think anybody should go past tier 8. The commerce insignia at tier 7 pay decent amounts of G4 uncommon parts. So I get about 2,000 to 3,000 of these every single day, that every single pull rather that I take off the commerce insignia. When you go past tier 7, these then move to G5, and obviously you cannot go back. And parts are one of the biggest bottlenecks in G4. I would suggest that nobody take it beyond tier 7 until you are absolutely done with upgrading G4 in relation to uncommon ship parts. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope everybody has found this really useful. Please leave a comment down below below. Let me know if you found any other little nuggets that you think we should talk about or that we might need to bring up on a stream or on a video later on. Leave a comment about that on obviously how you found the video, whether you found it useful. Like on your way out, please subscribe to the channel. We're doing really well on that. We do now offer channel memberships, so anybody that would like to support the channel on a monthly basis, please do that. Please join us. Massive shout out to Andy. Andy was our first and he is still our only member on the YouTube channel, so a massive shout out to Andy. I said I would do that all the time, that he was the only one, so if you want me to stop mentioning Andy, then join him in the members channel. Thank you so much guys for watching. I hope everybody has a fantastic day, and remember guys, everything is better with Luke. Take care guys, bye bye now.